Hey, it's Lori. How are you doing today?
Hi, Lori. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing awesome. I hope you only know one Lori because I didn't introduce myself as from DR Horton. That was pretty bad. Anyway, I'm so thankful that you were able to take this call with me this afternoon. We're trying to do all this virtual recordings of houses and then having virtual meetings and things like that. So I'm so happy you were able to do this with me this afternoon for a few minutes. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, of course.
Sure. Okay. And now, since I know I'm not going to be seeing you in person, I really don't need these gloves and this mask on. I'm so embarrassed. Let me take these off. I just had somebody in here and I just hadn't taken them off yet. So, okay. Now to get started. So first of all, I just want to make sure everything's good with you and your family. You know, everybody's doing well with everything that's going on. Just want to always like to check on everybody before I get started. So everybody doing okay?
Yeah, everybody's great.
Awesome. That sounds wonderful. So before I go into my information that we went over yesterday, I'm just going to ask you up front if you have any questions for me, and then also ask you, did you get a chance to look at the virtual tour I sent you yesterday of the Bergamot plan?
Yes, I did get a chance to look at it. And I don't have questions. No.
Okay, perfect. That sounds wonderful. So a couple of things that I'm going to go over with you today are going to be location and colors and that kind of stuff. And then after we're done with that and we've got all that evened out, then we'll just go on from there. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Okay, so I'm going to try some new stuff today. I'm going to try to share the screen first with the map of the community. So let me, okay, and do you see that?
Yes.
Okay, so if you'll look on the map, I have in blue the H144B or the Bergamot plan. I have it shown on there twice on two different lots. Do you see that?
I do, yes.
Great. So one of these is going to be a regular size standard home site. It's going to be 60 by 120, and that is going to be address 209 or lot 14 above it. And then the other one will be over, the oversized lot will be over here on that little cul-de-sac, which is lot 78, or the street address would be 553. You can see both of those, I'm sure.
Yes, I see that.
Okay, so I'm going to jump ahead of myself a little bit just to let you know that both of these homes, I know we talked about the tub and the shower, separate tub and shower in the master being important to you. So I just want to let you know that both of these homes are going to have that in them, so that you don't have to choose one or the other because of that option. So both of those homes will have that separate tub and shower in the master. So with that said, do you think you prefer lot 14 or lot 78?
I see that lot 78 is a lot larger. It looks to be a lot larger. Is there going to be an extra cost associated with that?
Yes, ma'am, there will be. It'll be $3,500 for the oversized home site.
Okay. I think
I'm trying to keep within your budget, so I know we're looking at a number there. So, but that's still that lot with the tub and shower added still keeps you under that 282, 283 range you were looking at.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna go with lot 78. So I'm gonna take that down. Hopefully, stop. Oh, I did it. Okay. Stop sharing. And I will actually talk like this. So sorry about that. Okay, so now what I want to do is, since we didn't have this when you were here yesterday, I want to show you the exterior colors for that specific home.
Okay.
So here we go. That worked out much better. So the exterior color brick is going to be a hickory trail, and then the trim is that real pretty well-bred brown. It's dark. And then you have the Granberry Builders. And what I love about that trim is it brings out the dark in both the stone and the brick. And you were really excited about that B elevation because it had the stone. So this will give you an idea of what's going to go on the exterior of the house.
Okay.
Yeah. How does that work? Are you okay with those colors?
Yeah, those are beautiful.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to take that off the screen too and get back to here. So we've discussed those two things. We've got the price of the house. We've got it at $270,990, And then we've got the $3,500 for the lot premium, and then the $5,500 for the separate tub and shower. So that's going to take us to $279,990. So that does keep us underneath that budget that you were wanting to stay under. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
Okay, perfect. Now I know that you've submitted your loan pre-qualification to DHI Mortgage, and that they've given you some monthly estimates. I believe Kevin's gotten back with you on that. Once we get the contract in the system, then he'll be able to take it to the next step, and he'll be requesting some needs items from you that if you haven't supplied them to him already, you can go ahead and get that started.
Okay, wonderful.
Okay, so what's going to happen is we'll have a time period where we're going to need a 30-day conditional approval that Kevin will work with you getting. And then really we won't need a lot of documentation from you until we get closer to the time that the home will be ready. And we did discuss that this home hasn't started. It is in our system. So we do have plans and engineering and things like that. So we're probably about 30 days ahead of the game than if you would have picked a home that was on a dirt lot and we were starting from scratch. So we're looking at about 6 months or so for this house to be completed. And I think you wanted to be in before the holidays, and I'm estimating that we should be able to make that date.
Okay, awesome.
How would you like to have Christmas in your new home?
Sounds wonderful.
I know. Doesn't it sound exciting? Well, I've got even better news for you. Not only does DHI Mortgage offer up to $4,000 towards your closing costs, but right now we're in a savings event. And with that savings event, you'll get an additional $5,000. So that'll take you up to $9,000, up to $9,000 on your closing costs. And that'll allow you to not have to bring that money to the closing table. So that should, for the most part, cover your closing costs. And then we pay the owner's title policy. And then last but not least, you will also receive a washer dryer, a fridge, and blinds in your home. And they'll be all installed prior to closing on your house. So that if for some reason the movers can't get there until the next day or that weekend, but you want to spend the night in your new home, you can do that because you'll have blinds on the windows and you can have water and soda or wine in your refrigerator for your first night in your home. So how does that sound?
That sounds awesome.
Okay, great. Before I go any further, what kind of questions do you have for me?
So you mentioned the up to $9,000 towards closing costs.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you think that's going to cover everything other than what, like my down payment?
Yes, ma'am. It should cover a majority, if not all of your closing costs. Of course, I'm not the lender, so I'm not going to commit to anything. I'll let him do that, but it would leave you just with your down payment. And depending on if you decided to go FHA or conventional, those down payments can change.
Okay.
Okay. And Kevin does a great job explaining that. But when you did do it, did you say, when you did fill out your form, did you by any chance put conventional or FHA on your pre-qualification?
Conventional.
Okay, perfect. Because that I'll need to put on the contract. So that brings us to the next step. I'd like to go ahead and formally ask you, do you think you're ready to move forward with purchasing this new home?
I do. Yeah. Yeah. What are the next steps?
The next step would be, I would love for you to be in my office, but with social distancing, we're trying to make sure everybody's safe. So we've got a couple of different things that we can do. I always like to send a copy of the draft to my home buyer to review prior to us going over the contract. And then that way, since you're not sitting here and I'm typing in all the information with you here, we can make sure that I have names spelled correctly. And then I can show you where all the promos are, and we can just go over the draft. And that's when I can review contract details with you. It takes about 30 or 45 minutes, just depending on the questions that you have. And we can schedule that at your convenience. So we can either do that later today or we can schedule it for tomorrow.
Okay, awesome.
Okay. Once we've done that, then I'm going to send you a link so that you can make your earnest money deposit online. The link goes to you. You fill out all that information that comes back to us that you've made that payment. The money won't come out of your debit card until tomorrow once the contract when we ratify the contract. You may get an alert from your bank saying, did you approve for this? You'll just want to say yes. Then I'll send the documents to you after we've reviewed them for you to sign. And those will come to you via email from DocuSign. And we'll go over the locations and the radio buttons that you need to click on and check. So Then
Okay.
once we've got that back from you, that your deposit, then we just turn that in. It gets ratified, and we move forward with building your house.
Okay.
And
Awesome.
then I will also send you a copy of your ratified contract for your records.
Uh-huh.
And from there, we, like I said, that gets in our system and the builders start moving on it. And we should hopefully see some construction moving over there in the next couple of weeks.
Okay. That sounds
How's
great.
that sound?
Really awesome.
Oh, great. I'm so happy. I'm really excited for you. I'm going to love working with you. This is going to be a great opportunity for you to be in a beautiful community, and then a great opportunity for me just to have another wonderful buyer to work with. So I'm really excited for you. And if you don't have any other questions, let me get working on that contract draft so I can get it sent over to you. And do you know whether you have time this evening or tomorrow? What would
Um,
be
yeah, actually, I'm free for probably the next hour or so. So I don't
okay?
know if that would work for you.
Yeah, it will. Won't take me too long to get it all in the system. The best thing is for me not to have you hang on, because then I get nervous and type and backspace and stuff. So, but I'll get it all entered, make sure I have all the promo codes in there correctly, and then I'll give you a call and let you know. Now, what I'll do is I'll email you a draft. We don't have to do a video for it because you'll have it on the email, so you can pull it up and I'll pull it up and we can just do an audio call if that's okay.
Yeah, that works for me.
Okay, perfect. Well, thanks so much, Carson. I'll talk to you in a few minutes.
Okay. Thanks, Lori.
Bye-bye.